Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege to be here. You know, we know that the residents of Camp Ashraf watch this. We want to say a couple things to them this morning. We're not operating in a vacuum here. We want to tell them that we are very proud of them and that we are very amazed by their sacrifice and that we want them not to give up hope and to never, 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 never give up. You know, we are frustrated. We speak here this morning with some obvious degree of frustration because, as you've heard, whether it's on the legal merits or on the factual merits, we can't seem to get our State Department to make a decision. A Court of Appeals, the United States Court of Appeals for this circuit, in August of 2010, said a couple of phenomenal things. One thing the court said to the Secretary of State that she had violated the constitutional rights of the MEK, violated the constitutional rights of the MEK, and said, secondly, we've looked at the record. We don't know how you made your factual designation because even the State Department in its pleading said in many cases they had no idea about the credibility of the witnesses and sources that were being used to support this now 14-year-old designation. So they sent it back to the Secretary with a very clear instruction to review and report and decide. And for months, over a year, we have gotten nothing but silence and delay from the State Department. Is reason itself to think that there is a huge vacuum, a huge hole in the Secretary of State's position, which is precisely why we have gotten neither a decision nor a report. And you've heard also some of the people who have become involved in this. You know, I just got my box score here, which I'll go over for a moment. You know, who is saying that this organization is not a terrorist organization? Not a reporter, okay? Not somebody on a reality show, not some anonymous source. I mean, let's just look, and I don't think I've even captured them all, but we've got a former national security advisor to the President of the United States, Attorney General, 2 CIA directors, an NSA director, a DHS secretary, an Assistant Secretary of State for Counterterrorism, a NATO commander, a CENTCOM commander, ambassadors, 2 Marine Corps commandants, a chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Do you think for a moment that any of these, will include an FBI director, do you think for a moment any of these people would be saying this group is not a terrorist organization if there was a scant piece of evidence that it was? Let me tell you how else this town works. You know, my colleagues, I have thousands of colleagues who stay in the FBI. Judge McCasey has hundreds of colleagues who are at the Department of Justice. Do you think if there was a scintilla of evidence that this was a terrorist group, we would have all gotten those phone calls from our friends saying, you know, Louis, General, Governor, this is really not something you want to be involved in. We've not heard anything like that. In fact, nobody's heard anything at all except the hollow noise of the State Department. But it's not the certification in a passive sense, and this is the key point. The maintenance of this organization, contrary to all the facts and the law, as you've heard from 2 splendid lawyers, is not just passivity. It is the basis by which we provide a license to kill